and welcome to Chapter 1, Lesson 3, that's 1.3, about absolute value. Our essential question for today is how do you find and use absolute value? We're going to go ahead and start with the definition of absolute value. The absolute value of a number is its distance from zero on a number line. And that is going to be an important vocabulary word, so go ahead and highlight that one. Absolute value. So here is your first example. The absolute value of 3 is 3. And notice I just drew bars around this 3. When you're reading a problem that has bars around it like that, you will read it as the absolute value. The reason why the answer is 3 is because it is the distance away from 0 on a number line, 3 spaces. Okay, what about -3? The absolute value of -3. And notice I put it inside the absolute value bars. So when I read the problem, I said absolute value of -3. Now, the absolute value of -3 is also 3 because it is also 3 spaces away from 0 on the number line. Okay, go ahead and draw out your number line. And let's check it. 0, of course, is in the middle. And I'm just going to go to 6 on each side to make it easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And same thing on the other side with my negatives. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. There is my number line. So you do the same on yours. And I'm going to use my blue and red, just like I did last lesson, to color code my number line. My positives are on this side, and you're welcome to label that. And I'm going to color code my negatives in red, and again, you are welcome to label that too. Okay, so let's check the absolute value of +3. So here I go. Whoops, starting at 0, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 spaces away from 0. Now let me check negative. I'm going to do that in a different color so we can easily identify it. Here I go. 0 to -1, that's 1. -1 to -2, that's 1. -2 to -3, that's 1. 1, 2, 3 spaces away from 0 on a number line. So again, no matter whether you have the absolute value of +3, you would still have 3 because it's 3 spaces away from 0 on a number line. Let's take a look at some practice problems here. The absolute value of -7, the absolute value of -10, the absolute value of 6, the absolute value of 83, the absolute value of -42, and the absolute value of -1. So go ahead and take care of those problems. If you need to draw out your number line like we did out here, absolutely do that. Go ahead and pause the video and do your work, and then you can check your answers. All right, go ahead and check your answers on those absolute value problems. So as you can see, all of my answers turned out positive because it's just the number of spaces away from 0 on the number line. All right, let's do another try this on the back page. All right, here is your task. Write 2 numbers that have the same absolute value. All right, and you go ahead and do 3. I will give you 1 example first, so you should have 4 written down total. I'm going to start with 20 and -20. They both have an absolute value of 20. Again, I'm showing the bars as a symbol for absolute value. So you take care of these 3 bullet points, coming up with 2 numbers that have the same absolute value. All right, an important tip for you. Get this one written down because it always shows up on tests. The absolute value of 0. So just like we talked about in our last lesson, 0 is neither positive nor negative. Therefore, the absolute value of any number except 0 is positive. Okay, the absolute value of any number except 0 will be positive. And that is Chapter 1, Lesson 3. Have a great rest of the day.